I'm here with Lena of Death Dealer Union. The new album, debut album, Initiation, comes out September 22nd on Napalm Records. Thank you very much for taking the time to talk about this new project of yours. And thank you for joining me for this conversation.
Of course. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Let me ask you, first off, how did you get involved in this project? I mean, it's not like you're not busy enough with so many things that you do. So, somehow you found room for one more. So how did it all started for you?
Okay, so everything really started when I had a lot of time. During the era of COVID, and it's very sad times when musicians couldn't go on tour and perform, I was actually keeping myself pretty busy, and I was taking a lot of collaborations. I was on different websites and apps where people could just hire musicians and create music together. And that's what I did. I was contacted by Cici McKenna, together with my producer, Voluța Valentin. We were contacted to create some music together for fun and just, some ideas that he had all along to put them into reality. And that's what we did initially. In fact, you can see 2 singles that came out prior to this year, that in the title, there's Death Dealer Union featuring Lena Scissorhands, because I was just a guest vocalist, guest artist on the songs. We did quite some songs together, and after a while, after doing music videos for these 2 and staying in touch and getting more closer and getting to know each other, Cici had the idea of settling down with musicians and finding the proper recipe for the band, I guess, a proper style, proper musicians, proper approach. And he asked me about it. I won't lie, my first reaction was no, because I just can't take something and not give 100% of my attention. It's so hard for me to get involved in things where I don't like. Just temporary things is one thing, but like something long term for me to just have as a I don't know, as a plan B, for me was like not something I was ever looking into. I never really looked into getting a new band or being part of a new band at all. Like, it was a complete surprise for me. With time, talking some more and being reassured that Infected Rain will always be respected, and it will always be my primary band, and Death Dealer Union is my side project, and all the touring and all the stuff that I have to do with Infected Rain will always get priority. I did decide to give it a try. I did decide to see how this can work. And, we all know a lot of examples out there with musicians, specifically vocalists, that have multiple projects, and many of them are doing fantastic at the same time, sometimes even better than their first band or whatever. So I had support and reassurance from Death Dealer Union that I will have all the time necessary and the respect necessary and the room necessary for me to have the energy and the space for both bands. So that's why I said, okay, I'm down to try if you guys really want me for this band. And that's how everything kind of started. And one thing that helps a lot is having the same producer that I work for many years in Infected Rain. It's my dear friend from my country, Voluța Valentin, which it's different when you work with someone that knows your capacities, knows your style, of your approach of working in this industry. It's very different than starting working completely with a new person. I feel very comfortable like that, and that helps a lot. And yeah, that's pretty much the story of it.
Once you had all of those checks and balances in place to make you feel comfortable to join the band,
Yeah.
was that something musically from this band that maybe scratched a little bit of a creative itch that you had that obviously Infected Rain doesn't offer you?
Not really, no, nothing like that, because with Infected Rain, I'm always very free to create, and I am very open with Infected Rain. I'm an open book since the beginning. I never tried to, you know, give something I don't have, or do something I'm not, or anything like that, or write about something that I'm not familiar with, or something like that. So literally, the approach I have with Death Dealer Union's creative process and recording process is absolutely the same as Infected Rain. Absolutely the same. The only difference is style-wise. Style-wise, I love music. I could sing in a pop band. I could sing in a reggae band. I could sing in a rap band. I would have the same approach. Absolutely the same approach. It's just what makes me go, what makes me feel, what makes me, I don't know, emotional in that time is what dictates how the song will come out for both Infected Rain and Death Dealer Union.
Do you have to change the mindset or the microchip going from one to the other in order to find that spot for
Never.
you?
Never. That's the thing. Never. I'm still the same person with the same, ups and downs, with the same, positive, character and negative character, and I don't know, I'm the same person. So I have the same approach towards this, because I believe that the approach I have makes me it's not like I believe, like I feel, it's probably the most proper way of explaining this. I feel like this approach I have while composing or writing or recording just makes me feel so happy, so complete, so satisfied. And if people can relate to what I talk about, what I sing about, what I scream about, it doesn't matter, right? If people can relate, they will relate no matter what the style of the music is. You just have to be real. That is my motto with whatever song, band, project, whatever thing. I try my best to give the realest, more raw version of me. So yeah, there's no different approach. Absolutely.
Was the process, and you had some familiarities, having your producer on board obviously helps, but there's also a lot of new elements in terms of starting a project and being involved in a new project. So was there at any moment, did you feel that there were certain challenges that you didn't expect to see, or having your producer on board kind of smoothed it out and made the overall process a lot more simple?
It did, but as I said, it's the same producer that I have with Infected Rain. So the style of composing, recording, and sending ideas to the musician is completely the same. And as I said, the only thing that is different is it's a different subgenre of metal, which doesn't make a big difference to me. It makes a big difference to the audience. I know that, I understand that, but it doesn't make a big difference to me, because I love all music. I love all genres, and it will be an honor to me, for me, to be in a song or a band that is not even metal, to be honest. Yes, metal does speak louder to me, and it's my favorite, but I do love and appreciate every single genre out there. So no, there is nothing specifically different or specifically challenging with Death Dealer Union in comparison with Infected Rain. No.
How do you think the fan base of Infected Rain is gonna take to this new sound, to this new project, to this new subgenre that you're involved in?
Well, so far, already way before I was part of the band, it was so loved and so supported. Just the songs I was part of, so far. And also the hardcore fans of Infected Rain are familiar with the other projects and songs I was part of before that have completely different genres than Infected Rain. So I only feel encouragement so far. And even if there are going to be people that are going to be like, okay, I get it. This side project band that she has is this style now. I prefer Infected Rain. If we are talking about fans of Infected Rain, fine, it's okay. Absolutely. Absolutely. Everybody has to feel free to have their own opinion and their own taste in music. Absolutely. Like there are bands that I absolutely adore, but there are some albums of this same bands that are not my favorite, but I don't dislike the band because of this one album that doesn't speak to me at the moment. There are many bands like that have so many albums in their discography, and I am a big fan of the band, but this specific album, for example, I didn't feel it, right? That doesn't mean that the musicians, like I changed my mind about the musicians or about their other side projects that are completely different. You know what I'm saying? Like, but again, if a fan changes their opinion about me as a musician in a worse way, I mean, I can't stop them. Everybody should be free to think what they want to think. I am just having fun, staying creative, staying busy, and just giving more music out there. That's all.
And
in the end of the day, for ourselves, right? As well as for everybody else.
And your versatility really shows the more things that you do that are slightly outside the box from what fans are perhaps more familiar with. It really shows the versatility. And I thought it was really interesting to see you in this genre, to see what you provided, what you gave, because I felt like it fits you perfectly. And thinking of one band, thinking of the other, you may not see the correlation, but it just speaks volumes to your own versatility as a singer.
Thank you so much.
When you decided to be full-time part of this project and not just a feature, like you mentioned earlier, did that come with certain expectations of what you want out of this project, of what you want out of this band?
No, I had only one expectation, and it was only towards the owner of the band, Cici McKenna. The only expectation that I have since the beginning is just for the musician of my band and the owner of this project to always respect and maintain the agreement regarding the prioritizing of Infected Rain no matter what, because it was one of my main conditions. It was like I literally could only join the band if this project is in no way possible going to interfere in the plans and and releases of my primary band, which is my baby, which I've been putting energy, time, life, tears and blood and money into since 2008, really. And I have a lot of fun doing it, and I feel complete doing it. I did not need to be part of a new band. I was asked to be part of a new band because I feel very complete with Infected Rain. I feel very free with Infected Rain. I feel myself with Infected Rain. Now, again, as I said, when I had this opportunity and this proposal was put to me in front of me, as I said no in the beginning for this specific reason. But again, the musicians of Death Dealer Union are insanely respectful and supportive of Infected Rain, and Cici itself was always very understanding and supportive. He's been to 2 shows, I think, so far, and soon to some more of Infected Rain. And the reason he wants me and he wanted me in Death Dealer Union was because of Infected Rain. So of course, because I haven't been in other bands before Infected Rain. That's why I'm saying.
When it comes down to recording your vocals on an album like this, do you have a process that you follow regardless of the record, regardless of the band? Do you have your own process, and what is it?
Yes, the process is absolutely the same process that I do for the past, I want to say, past three Infected Rain albums. I've been, as I said, given full freedom in composing and in recording, and the whole process is applying lyrics that I write all the time. I just write lyrics all the time, no matter if I need to record or soon or not. I just put ideas down on the paper, you know. And sometimes on tour or when I'm home, I get inspired and I sit there and I work on those lyrics, and I garnish them, I evolve them into something maybe sometimes even different than what the initial idea was, or, and you know, like stuff like that. And so when I get the music and the melody offered to me, what I do is I my first process is, okay, what does this melody make me feel? If it makes me feel melancholy, sadness, or happiness, I uh, I approach it considering that, and I apply the lyrics accordingly to the emotion that the melody gave me. And I know later on, often with the melody of the vocals and the lyrics, the song can become something completely different, but this is my initial process. Secondary process is when I chose the emotion. I go through my lyrics and my ideas and I see which fit better, and I choose that, and I just sit down in my own recording studio at home, and I compose, and I actually record the skeleton of the structure of the vocal ideas, send them first of all to my producer just to get his opinion on it and his feedback on it. And after I get that feedback and his opinion, I start perfecting those vocals. I start recording it properly with proper settings and as many times as necessary. And yeah, and I send all these tracks to my producer. Producer works on it together with the band, and then the final result, we listen together and we think together if there is any necessities for anything more. But is the as I said, is the same process that I do for Infected Rain.
Is this going to be just a studio project for you guys, or are you guys planning on doing some live shows, perhaps touring? What's the plan right now?
Yeah, the plan is to tour as well, to have some shows. Now, when this is going to happen, we don't know yet, because this is our very first album. We don't have enough material yet to go on an actual tour, like a long. But we were thinking initially to do at least a couple of shows next year, at least locally or somewhere around, like in America. For now, that's the plan. We will see the reaction of people and everything. It will be impossible to have a full-time side project band, full-time touring side project band, because of how busy my schedule it is with Infected Rain. But also everybody else from that dealer union has other bands and other businesses that they are involved in, so it fits perfectly everybody's schedule.
I know when it comes down to picking singles, it's the label, it's the band members, that there's a lot of talk back and forth on what makes it a good single. But if you had to pick your own single, and somebody came to you and said, show me a song that represents Death Dealer Union, which track would you pick?
The Vow of Silence.
What about specifically about that song do you feel represents the entire project?
I think that it shows best, I mean, every single song does, but it shows best the perfect combination of different metal subgenres, and the mix between the very American, a little bit more LA type of style of metal, together with like that marries the more European type of metal, and more like, I don't know, storytelling type of metal that is insanely popular here in Europe and very loved in America as well. Is just is more common normally is more common with European bands that were created in Europe. And I think that dealer union is the best combination between those two, considering that, you know, like the musicians are from LA. I lived in 4 countries in my life, specifically in Europe. Now I live in America, but I was raised and born in Eastern Europe, lived in other countries in Central Europe as well. My producer is from Eastern Europe as well. The different the different age difference between musicians as well is a good factor. That is a good, I think, recognizable factor in that dealer union. And with this song specifically, you can feel all of those. You know, you have a guitar solo, you have groovy riffs and a storytelling with like the melody. I don't know. And then you have the repetitive aspect of the song that is more common for like the heavy metal from like the, I don't know, like 90s more, I guess. I don't know how to bring it, like how to properly I'm sorry, explain it, but this is in a poor words how I can put it out there.
I have one last question for you, and I think to me it's the one that I'm most intrigued about, and that is more about you, the person, and you, the artist, and that's really the bottom line. Is there a little bit of a Jekyll and Hyde when it comes to Lena? Is there the artist side of you and the personal side of you, or are they both blended as one, and you're constantly in a creative mindset?
No, it will be hard for me to have this 2 absolutely different personalities. I am definitely always in this one state of mind, even before I became a singer. The job I chose way before I became a singer was very creative as well. I was a hair makeup artist, full-time hair makeup artist for 12 years. Also, I started modeling when I was 19, so way before the band. I always, in a way, somehow ended up creating something out there for people, for myself. I loved working, you know, creating something with my hands, doing something like as an older sister in my family. When I was younger, I would always try to do something like cook or do my sister's hair, or even netting, anything that I could create that has a result that you do. It requires a lot of effort, a lot of time, and then there's a result that you can see, taste, listen to, look at. I don't know, for some reason it's just always been part of my character.
So you really don't have a difference between the two. You're just a creative person all around.
I want to think that way. I don't know. I guess this is more of a question that you could ask my loved ones. They would be more, they could be less biased, because it's very hard for me to talk about myself. You know what I mean? Like, I'm normally very strict towards myself, and very like, I criticize many things I do, and like I try to perfect them. So it's hard for me to say. I want to believe that, yes, I always was, even before Infected Rain, a more creative being.
I think you are, at least that's my perception from the projects and the music and all the things that you do. I think you're just, I think you're just a super creative person, and you're always in a creative mindset. It just depends on, you can, depending on what's put in front of you, depends on the outcome that we get from that creativity. So I think you're just that kind of a personality. If I was to put a piece of clay in front of you, you probably would make a jar. And you know, when we put lyrics in front of you, you make a great song. So I think that's just who you are as a person. And Death Dealer Union is just another form of something that was put in front of you, and now we're able to see the end results of that creativity.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Well, Lena,
I do my best.
Oh, well, you're doing phenomenal. So so keep doing it. Lena, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. I know you're super busy. Thank you once again. The album debut record Initiation comes out September 22nd on Napalm Records. The links to the pre-order is going to be on the description of this video, so go check them out. Thank you once again.
Thank you for your time and for your questions. Seriously, thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Have a beautiful day.